These were two lovers that existed in India. Gurbani is about lovers. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਸਨ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ. Those that have made it through Parmatama, those that have made it into Guru Sahib's hearts, into their God, ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Those sant, those Gurmukh, those Bhagats, those Sadhus. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਨਹੀਂ, the formula was always prem, love, right? How do you learn love? Guru Sahib in Gurbani talks about some specific lovers that have happened on the land of India, who us living in the West might not be very commonly known to, but the people of India who grown up in it, they must have heard the stories very oftenly. Yeah. But Guru Sahib has used those lovers because they're very divine lovers. They loved each other to the extent that they'll never forget about each other. So I want you to go through this Sakhi with me, but put the lens on of a soul, the Jeev Roop Atma. Guru Sahib has referred to the soul as a istri, as a woman who is going to marry her soul bride, who is Parmatama. Atma te Parmatma nu ek pati te patni da drishta vich dikhaya. It is shown as a relationship of a husband and a wife. And many different examples you will find that in Gurbani. Okay. And when Guru Sahib alludes to different characters of a history, they're referring to their madness that they have for each other, the very deep madness they have for each other. So as I said, Mitra Pyarenu will be our focus, but to explain the analogy that Guru Sahib used in that Shabad, we'll go through this Sakhi that Guru Sahib has wrote as well in their Bani. There's a section of Dasam Bani which is called Charitropakhyan. It's a very voluminous section and it contains many different stories. 405 Charitra. So at the end of Chopai Sahib, you hear this. It Sri Charitropakhyan. It means ending. Whenever the word it comes out, it means iti. Now it's time to end. It Sri Charitropakhyan. This is where Charitropakhyan, the Bani called Charitropakhyan. Chitra means a tale, a story. Chitra also means a painting. Pakhyan means to almost over exaggerate, almost paint it with words. Charitropakhyan is a painting with words. And how many chitras, how many stories are there? There's 405 stories. It Sri Charitropakhyan Traya Chitre Mantri Poop Sanbade, and the whole story is encompassated with a conversation with a Poop and his Mantri. Mantri is the Raj advisor, is the advisor for the rule, and the king is the king of the one that's ruling. There's a conversation between these two. That conversation was 405 stories. Okay. How did that conversation start upon? Is when the king judged his son for doing something that he found was adharmic. He was to give his son the ultimate fancy of death. His mantri jumps and is like, wait, there might be a backstory that you don't know about. You might be killing your son for something you think he done, but maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he's being frauded. Maybe someone's putting him in this spot to get him in trouble. Then the mantri advises the king by giving these 405 stories. Okay, so it's a way that, so when stuff like this happens in poetry and literature, it's the mind of the kavi, it's the mind of a poet. It's the kala, it's the talent of the poet. What's in their mind, you can see in their words. Yeah? So the way Guru Sahib incorporated these stories is to teach moral lessons for the Khalsa. And you'll see in this. So at the end of these stories comes Kabiobaj being the Chopei. Right? Chopei part comes at the end of these stories. Why? Because Chopei is a ardas. It's a ardas it's a request for protection. Hamari karo, haath dairas. Protection from what? Protection from what has happened in these stories. Those trickery, that devious, that Kaam, the Krodh that's been showed, the Lobh, Moh, Ankaar that's been showed throughout these stories. Guru Sahib then asks us for protection or teaches us how to ask for protection. They first show us, Khalsaji Sachet Ho, be prepared. When you walk in the world, it's not an easy task. You're a Bhagat, you're a Sant, you're a Sadhu, that's amazing. But if you don't have the Gyan of Shabad, if you don't have the Gyan of what can go wrong when you walk out those doors, then something will get you. You will fall in your sikhi, you will fall in your spiritual jivan. To be spiritually inclined, to always progress in your spiritual jivan, no matter what faith you're in tune with, if you don't have the karpan of gyan, you won't survive very long. This world is designed to throw you down in your spiritual jivan. Every little thing that happens is not a coincidence, it's meant to happen that way. And then it's meant for you to use your buddhi, your intellect that Guru Sahib has given you, to decide what actions you will do. Right? At the end of these stories, Hamari Karo, Hate Rasha is there. Yeah? So the 97th story is the story of Heer and Ranja, the story of two lovers. Okay? Again, we're going to look with the lens of a Jeevrup Istri trying to love her husband, Vaiguruji. You will see those concepts coming mirroring through. And so we'll take it from here. ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਚੰਦਰਪਗਾ ਸਰਤਾਰ ਨਿਖਟ ਰਾਜਨ ਨਾਮਾ ਜਾਟ
ਇੱਕ on the Pakistan side, across Lahore, the west of Lahore, there's a nadi called Chandrapaga, or the Chenab भी कह रहे हैं. It's a river next to the Indus River, so in just that kind of geography. There was someone in that area whose name was Ranja, who was a Jat. Jat is a Bradari of the Rajputs.
जो अबला नरखै कसा जात सुदन पर खाट
जो इनु this देख, whichever person or whichever istri will see Rajan, she'll go behosh, like he was so amazing.
चौपई मोहत तह त्रिया नैन निहारे
tri mohat teh tri nan nihare, whichever tri means istri, so we say istri, in Sanskrit they say tri is the word they use for woman. मोहत तेह त्री नैन निहारे, जिन्होंने नैन ला के देखिया राजे नू, वो मोहत हो जाते हैं, they will fall in love with Ranja.
जनसावक साइक के मारे,
just as a hunter goes to hunt his prey, the prey he's able to lure the prey in, just like that all the istriyan of the nagar will get pulled in from Ranjan.
चित में अधिक रीच के रहा,
and then वो बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं when they will get darshan of Ranja. All the istriyan will get very happy.
राजन राजन मुख ते कहा,
they अपने मुंह ते सिर्फ रांजन कहते रहे. Okay, now let me give you the spiritual analogy to this. ठीक है? We are all Jeevrup istriyan, correct? If we love our Parmeshwar Vaiguruji, है ना, ते परमात्मा सानू दिसन लग पिया, अब मोहत हो जाना from his रूप. फिर आप की कहेंगे और नाम ही जपते रहेंगे वाहिगुरु वाहिगुरु वाहिगुरु. ये इसलिए की करती हैं, they see Rajan. Right? So imagine Ranja in this analogy is Parmatma Vaiguru, and the Istriyan they're getting lured in is us. Right? So this same analogy is used in Krishna Ji's Sakhiyan as well. So when Krishna Ji has Gopiyan, one spiritual drishti is that those Gopiyan are us. We're the Jeevrup Istriyan, and Krishna Ji is Vaiguru Ji. You know, we're all getting lured into Krishna Ji's love. We're getting so it's an analogy of the Bhagat. It's not the analogy, it's not the drishti of a sansari person. A sansari person will just see Kaam. They will like, oh, that guy that can't be a devta, or that kaam karta si, stuff like that. But the drishti of a Bhagat is different. Bhagat Jayadev Ji, who's Bani Singh Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they wrote a granth on the plays of Krishna Ji with their gopiyan. Right? A normal person can't understand that granth. They'll read it with the Kaam drishti, but a Bhagat will read it with the drishti of love for his Parmatma. Make sense? Hanji.
Karam kaal te aso peo.
Hanji. Now this was a prelogue. Guru Sahib described Ranja's kind of like how he looks like and what's going on. Now they will give a little kind of log to it, as in how he was born and all his whole story. So they said one time when what happened was there was a time of Kaal. Kaal oro hunda jino pani muk jaye. You know, farming is very hard now because there's a drought, right? It's not much food. So because farming is hard now, all the food and everything is a food shortage. The food that is available gets very expensive now, right? Hanji.
तूने ਦੇਸ ਕਾਲ ਪਰ ਗਇਓ
in the whole desh, in the whole area near the Chandrapag Nadi, the whole place ਉੱਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜੀਤ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਨਰ ਬਚਿਓ ਨਗਰ ਮੈਂ
in the nagar that Ranja was born in, no one was able to stay alive ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੋ ਉਭਰਿਓ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤਨ ਕਰ ਮੈਂ
ਹਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਉਭਰਿਆ ਉਹੀ that person was only to be saved who had ਧਨ ਘਰ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ 'ਚ 5 ਪੈਸਾ ਸੀ 4 ਪੈਸਾ ਸੀ he was able to save himself ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਚਿੱਤਰ ਦੇਵ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਨ ਨਗਰ ਮੈਂ
ਹਾਂ ਚਿੱਤਰਦੇਵ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਮ ਨਗਰ ਮੈਂ so his ਨਗਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਿੱਤਰਦੇਵੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ the Ranja's mom her name was ਚਿੱਤਰਦੇਵੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਰਾਜਾ ਏਕ ਪੂਤ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਮੈਂ
ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਸੀ ਰਾਂਝਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਔਰ ਨਾ ਬਚਿਓ ਕੋਈ
ਬਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹੀ ਬੱਚੇ so in the house that Raja lived in only him and his mom survived ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਮਾਏ ਪੂਤ ਬੈ ਬਾਚੇ ਦੋਈ
ਬਸ ਮਾਈ ਤੇ ਭੂਤ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮਾਂ ਤੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਸ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਰਣਿ ਹੈ ਭੁੱਖ ਅਦਕ ਜਗ ਜਾਗੀ
ਜਦੋਂ ਰਣੀਆ ਹੈ ਮੀਨਸ ਰਾਣੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਰਾਣੀ ਚੰਦ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੀ
ਤਾਕੋ ਵੇਚ ਮੇਖਲਾ ਸਾਜੀ
ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੋ ਹੀ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮਾਨ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੇਚ ਲਿਆ they sold that stuff and ਮੇਖਲਾ ਸਾਜੀ ਮੇਖਲਾ is a ਵਸਤਰ that usually poor people in India wear it's a ਵਸਤਰ that like ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੌਕਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ they wear a ਮੇਖਲਾ it's a ਕੱਪੜਾ they use around their shoulders and their waist basically they're here to clean that's what it signifies ਹਾਂਜੀ so the Rani who is a queen one time she was a queen she out of desperation for food she started working for other people in their houses other rich people in their houses ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਨਿਤ ਕੀ ਸਨ ਪਰ ਦਵਾਰੇ ਜਾਗਾ
ਹਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਿਤ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੀ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਦੁਆਰ doors ਦੁਆਰ means doors she would go house to house cleaning up for them ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਝੂਠ ਚੂਨ ਚੌਕਾ ਚੁਨ ਖਾਗਾ
ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੇਟ ਭਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ what she would do when she would clean up the dishes that ਝੂਠਾ ਭੋਜਨ that would be there she would eat that ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਐਸੇ ਹੀ ਭੁੱਖਨ ਮਰ ਗਈ
ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ ਮਰ ਗਈ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪੁਨਬਿਤ ਤਹਾ ਬ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਅਤਕ ਗਈ
ਪੁਨਬਿਤ ਤਹਾ ਬ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਖੇਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਰਤਾਈ after she died ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਰਖਾ ਹੋਈ there was a lot of rainfall that happened ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੁੱਕੇ ਪਏ ਹਰੇ ਜਨ ਸਾਰੇ
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ those crops that ਸੁੱਕੇ ਪਏ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਹਰੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬੋਹਰ ਜੀਤ ਕੇ ਵਜੇ ਨਗਾਰੇ
ਫਿਰ ਬੋਰ ਜੀਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਗਾਰੇ ਵਜਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਕਿ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤਹਾ ਏਕ ਰਾਜਾ ਹੀ ਉਭਰਿਓ
ਤੇ ਉਸ ਨਗਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਰ ਗਈ in that household only ਰਾਜਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਔਰ ਲੋਕ ਸਭ ਤਹਿ ਕੋ ਮਰਿਓ
ਤੇ in his house ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਰ ਗਏ ਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਰ ਗਈ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਰਾਜੋ ਜਾਟ ਹੇਤ ਤਨ ਪਰਿਓ ਪਾਰਿਓ
ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਟ ਨੇ another person from the Jat ਬਰਾਦਰੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਲ ਲਿਆ they took care of Rajan took him in ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪੂਤ ਪਾਵ ਤੇ ਤਾਹੇ ਜਹਾਰਿਓ
ਪੂਤ ਭਾਵ they took care of him with the ਭਾਵ ਨਾ that this is my son with a lot of love they took care of him ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪੂਤ ਜਾਟ ਕੋ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਜਾਣੈ
so everyone now just knows Rajan as a son of a Jat of a son from a Rajput family they don't know him to be the son of a queen he was from a royal family no longer do people know him as that anymore ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤਿਸਤੇ ਕੋ ਨਾ ਰਹਿਓ ਪਛਾਨੈ
ਕੋਈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ who what his real origins was ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਐਸੇ ਕਾਲ ਬੀਤ ਗਇਓ
ਬਹੁਤ ਦੇਰ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਤੀਤ ਹੋਈ
ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਮਦਨ ਤਮਾਮੋ ਦਇਓ
ਫਿਰ ਮਦਨ ਦਮਾਮਾ ਫਿਰ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਦਾ ਨਗਾਰਾ ਵੱਜ ਗਿਆ what that means is that now Rajan is now old enough now he's ਜਵਾਨ now ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਮਹਿਕੀ ਚਾਰ ਨਿਤ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਆਵੈ
so he would work for the Jat that was taking care of him so that Jat is a farmer so ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਉਹ ਘਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੱਝਾਂ ਚਰ ਕੇ like he would graze the cows ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਰਾਜਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਸਦਾਵੈ
and everyone would call him Ranja ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪੂਤ ਜਾਟ ਕੋ ਤਹਿ ਸਭ ਜਾਣੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਰਾਜਪੂਤ ਕਹਿ ਕੋ ਪਹਿਚਾਨੈ
no one recognizes him as the son of a royal family anymore everyone sees him to just be a farmer ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇਤੀ ਬਾਤ ਰਾਜਾ ਕੀ ਕਹੀ
Guru Sahib said itti baat remember the word itti came up again itti means ending ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਬਾਤ ਰਾਜਨ ਦੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ
ਅਬ ਚਲ ਬਾਤ ਹੀਰ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ
ਹੁਣ ਹੀਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ let me tell you a little bit about ਹੀਰ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤੁਮਕੋ ਤਾਕੀ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਣਾਓ
ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ like this Guru Sahib within the story that's going on so these stories are prachalt right in that times of India maybe it was prachalt maybe it wasn't right But a lot of stories are in Charitropakhyan. They might not be new stories per se, right? Some are. Some you can't find anywhere else in the history of India, but some you can. But within those stories, Guru Sahib will put their own mukhwak in there as well. So there's a story going on, and the Guru Sahib might write Kabyo Baj. Kabyo Baj means the bachan of a Kavi. Kavi means Guru Sahib. Guru Sahib calls himself a Kavi, right? The reason for this is very deep. Maybe hopefully tomorrow in the Hukanama Katha or the Katha later on we can talk about it. But samay karke we'll just keep it short. When Guru Sahib writes Kabyo Baj, the bachans of Kavi, now Guru Sahib is putting their own input in, their own mukhwak in, the Khalsaji Sunam. Sometimes they don't do that, but they still put their own message in. Here Guru Sahib is talking to us directly. So Sakhi chalti bhi hai, now Guru Sahib puts their own message in. Listen up, this is why I'm telling you the story. So they said, Tumko tanu ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਣਾਓ ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਰਾਜਾ ਤੇ ਹੀਰ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੁਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਮਰੋ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਸਰਾਓ ਕਿਉਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਰਾਓ means ਖੁਸ਼ੀ I want to give you ਖੁਸ਼ੀ to your hearts Khalsa ji I'm giving you this katha this sakhiyan to make you happy why the sakhi of a lover is pleasing to a lover someone who's madly divinely crazy for Vaheguru they'll enjoy the stories of people that are crazy for Vaheguru as well. Yeah? Someone who is in the business field, they'll enjoy stories about business. Someone who's in engineering, they'll enjoy engineering. Wherever your mindset is, you know, as Sikhs, we all share the same mindset of love for our Guru, a love for Vaheguru, a love for the spiritual knowledge, a love for our Sadh Sangat. We all share no matter what our jobs are, right? We all have this common love, common attention span. And Guru Sahib now gearing to that, saying that I'm telling you this Sakhi to give you intense khushi. Hanji.
Indra Rai ke nagar apsara ikar hai.
Hanji. Indra Raja ke nagar ek apsara rendi si.
Main kala te naam sakal jag yog hai.
Usta naam Main Kala si.
Tako roop naresh jo ko niharhi.
Jo usta roop nu dekhta si.
Ho gire taran par choon main
ਧਰਤੀ ਤੇ ਗਿਰ ਕੇ ਮਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ so what's going on now is that Guru Sahib is talking about the story of Heer but before Heer came into this world so there is a kind of angelic story of Heer Ranja that's what Guru Sahib is using here the angelic story Heer and Ranja weren't human beings so they're going to talk about that now here so they kind of painted a picture in the Sabha of Indra Devta so in Indra Devta's court Indra Devta is the king of Swargs there was a Apashara named Man Kala. So now the story of Man Kala and how she became Heer in this world, that's what Guru Sahib is going to talk about. Hanji. In that Sabha, Diwan Sajjasi, where the Apashara Man Kala was sitting there in the Raja's court, Kapal Muni walks in, Hanji. Osar dekh ke unne Man ka darshan kite, Hanji.
ਤਹਿਲਕ ਮਨ ਬੀਰਜ ਗਿਰ ਗਿਓ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਪ ਚਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਸਰਾਪਤ ਤਹਿ ਭਇਓ
ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਪਲ ਮੁਨੀ ਨੇ when he saw Man Kala ਉਹਦੇ ਚਿੱਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਸ ਆਇਆ right he felt that Man Kala wasn't behaving in a culturally correct way so he felt that Man Kala wasn't either she wasn't dressed properly or she wasn't sitting properly whatever Kapil Muni didn't understand or he didn't like he in his mind he gave a sharaf means like a curse to Man Kala Hanji tum gir ke mirt lok means earth you should fall down and go to earth Hanji
ਜੂਨ ਸਿਆਲ ਜਾਟ ਕੀ ਤਰੋ
ਤੇ ਜਾਟ you should now become the caste you should be born in a caste of Jat, Hanji.
Heer apna naam sadaavo.
Te apna naam you will keep as Heer, Hanji.
Jot koot Turkan ki khaabo.
You will be born into a Turkan family, Hanji.
Dohra tab abla kampat pai taake par keh paaye.
So then that Istri, abla means Istri, that Istri got so scared, ਉਹਨੇ Kapil Muni ਦੇ ਪੈਰ ਫੜ ਲਏ, Hanji.
Karehu hoye udar mamso de ko.
Udar mam.
ਕਰਿਓ ਹੋਏ ਉਦਾਰ ਮਮ ਸੋਧ ਚ ਕਹੋ ਉਪਾਏ
ਕਰਿਓ ਹੋ ਹੋਏ ਉਦਾਰ ਮਮ मेरा उद्धार करो, like you gave me that curse, now hun मेरा उद्धार भी करो. Tell me how can I save myself. So Dij कहो उपाय. Dij means Brahman. Dij it will come up Gurbani. Nrip will come up for Raja. Dij will come up for Brahman. De means do. Ja means Janam. ਜਿਹੜੇ Brahman ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ they believe that to be a Brahman you have to take birth twice. You can't be a Brahman right away. You have to be a Brahman. So that they always call themselves Dij. Dij means do, ja, duja janam. So a couple Muni is known to be a Brahman. So the Apashara says to couple Muni, "Tusi mera koi upara the soul. How can I save myself?" Hanji.
Chope Indra so Mrit Mandal Jab Jaha.
You can save yourself. Couple Muni says. The way you can save yourself, Indra Devta, he will go to the Tarti, he will go to Mrita Mandal. Mrita means where Mritu, where death can happen. Mandal means a realm. Mrita Mandal is not only for earth. Hanji.
Raja apna naam kaha.
Indraji will call himself Ranja. Hanji.
Doso adak preet upjaga.
He will have a lot of love for you. Hanji.
Amarvati bohor tohe liyaga.
And he will bring you back to Amarvati. Amarvati means the city of Swarg. Hanji.
दोहरा जून जाट की तिन तरी नृत्य मंडल में आए.
हाँ, फिर उन्हें जून जाट की तिन तरी. तरी means उन्हें तर लिया. She took the form of a human being into the biradari of a jat. मृत मंडल में आए. She came into the earth. हाँ जी.
चूचक के उपजी पवन हीर नाम तरवाए.
They her पिताजी, his name was Chuchak. Chuchak की उपजी. Upji means to become born. Pavan means land. In the land of Chuchak, in his house, she took birth. Har Heer naam tarwaye te unne apna naam Heer akhaya. Hanji.
चौपे इसी पाथ सो काल बिहान्यो.
हाँ, इसी बात सो काल. So a lot of time passed in this way. Hanji.
बीत्यो बरख एक दिन जान्यो.
Many years passed away, but it felt like a few days. Hanji.
बालापनो छूट जब गयो.
When Balpan means when her youth passed away. Hanji.
जोबन आनंद मामो दयो.
Then Joban means Javani. Then Javani came. Hanji.
राजा चार महखियन आगा.
Hanji.
ताको हेर हीर गल जागा.
So one day she saw Rajan. So this was the pre-story of Heer. Yeah. So in that village, that Raja was a farmer now. Right now we're going back to that story. He sees Raja one day and ताको हेर हर बल जाव हीर बल जावे. और हेर मीस देख के ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਬਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ. she was forever ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ like she was ਮੋਹਿਤ ਔਰ ਰਾਜਨ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਤਾਸੋ ਅਦਕ ਨੇਹੋ ਉਪਜਾਇਓ.
ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੇਹੋ means ਪਿਆਰ. ਉਪਜਾਇਓ means born. A lot of love came. ਅਦਕ means ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ came within Heer's heart for Ranjan. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਪਾਤ ਸੋ ਮੋਹ ਬੜਾਇਓ.
ਬਹੁਤ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੋਹ ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਖਾਤ ਪੀਤ ਬੈਠਤ ਉਠਤ ਸੋਵਤ ਜਾਗਤ ਨਿਯਤ.
ਖਾਂਦੇ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਬੈਠਦੇ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਸੌਂਦੇ ਜਾਗਤੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਵਸਤੇ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਕਬਹੂ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰੈ ਚਿਤ ਤੇ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਦਰਸ ਨਿਮਿਤ.
ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਜਿਹਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਾਂਝਨ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਕਬਹੂ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰੈ ਚਿੱਤ ਤੇ. ਉਹਦਾ ਚਿੱਤ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ. She can't forget Ranjan anymore. Again, bringing it back to the Paramarth kind of angle. ਜੇ ਜੀਵ ਇਸਤਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ, she can't forget that ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ anymore. ਸੌਂਦੇ ਜਾਗਦੇ, she will forever and ever be in his hands. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਹੀਰ ਬਾਚ ਸਵਈਆ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਓ ਤੋ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਆਵਤ ਸੰਗ ਲਗੇਹੀ. ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, so now this is Heer Bach. So remember I said Kabir Bach means Guru Sahib's own Mukbani. When it says Heer Bach, Akal Bach, or whoever Bach, that's the person talking. So now this is Heer talking. So yeah. ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਓ ਤੋ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਆਵਤ ਸੰਗ ਲਗੇਹੀ. ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੋ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਦਿਸਦਾ. If I go outside my house, I see Ranjan outside. Yeah. If a Sikh were to walk outside his house, he sees Guru everywhere. That's the kind of concept. Greh means ghar. Je main ghar aandi I see him sitting here as well. Hanji. Jo hat baith raho kar main piya aith rahe hiye main pehle hi. Je main
hard karke baithna ghar. If I'm like I don't want to go outside because I'm going crazy. I'm seeing him outside. Main ਇੱਥੇ ਘਰ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਬੱਟ ਮੈਂ ਹੱਟ ਧਾਰ ਕੇ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਵਾਂ. Then I close my eyes, I see him inside my heart. ਪਿਆ ਬੈਠ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਹੀ. ਪਿਆ ਮੀਨਸ ਹਿਰਦਾ. ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਇਆ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਨੀਂਦ ਹਮੈ ਨਖਵਾਨੀ ਕਰੀ ਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਛਮ Chin Ram Magsakhi Supanehi.
Oh Ram Parmeshwar. So the Guru Sahib is now alluding, Sikha, look, remember, ਇਹ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਰਾਮ ਸਨੇਹੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਮ ਸਨੇਹੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਨੀਂਦ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ। ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ, they put this jal of prem on top of me, right? I can't get away now. ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਜਾਗਤ ਸੋਵਤ ਰਾਤ ਹੁਦਯੋ ਸ ਕਹੂ ਮੋਹਿ ਰਾਜਨ ਚੈਨ ਨ ਦੇਹੀ।
ਜਾਗਦੇ ਸੌਂਦੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਨ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਹੂੰ ਮੋਹੇ ਰਾਜਨ ਚੈਨ ਨਾ ਦੇਹੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੈਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੀਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ। I just seen him once, now I can't get him out of my mind. I can't even go to sleep anymore. I can't get up, I can't do anything. ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਚੌਪਈ ਰਾਜਨ ਰਾਜਨ ਸਦਾ ਉਚਾਰੈ।
ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਸ ਹੁਣ ਰਾਂਝਨ ਰਾਂਝਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ if he were to get or she were to get darshan of Guru Sahib, ਬਸ ਉਹਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੈਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਸੋਵਤ ਜਾਗਤ ਤਾਹ ਸੰਭਾਰੈ।
ਸੌਂਦੇ ਜਾਗਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਸੰਭਾਲਦੀ ਹੈ। So in Guru Gurbani, sometimes Maharaj will say, Ram Naam nu Sambhal. Sambhal, what does that mean? Sambhal means continuously, if I were to put this camera somewhere, and I would walk away from home, I would be like, the camera is in my bedroom, in this drawer, on the bottom drawer. मैं अपने मन में रखूँगा. 2-3 hours later, if I want to make sure I know where the camera is, and I think about it, oh, the camera's in the drawer, in the bottom drawer, right? If I keep doing that chintan, oh, एक प्रवाक हो जाता है अपने चित्त विच, like whatever thing you memorize over and over again, it becomes ingrained in your heart, you know. So a year later, someone will say, I come back from vacation, and someone's like, hey, where's your camera? I'm like, I put it into the bottom drawer in my bedroom, you know. That's called sambhal ke rakhna. So someone, if they were to kuch cheez sambhal ke rakhna, means keep it somewhere, but then keep doing chintan of it until you memorize where it is, you know. So Heer has now, she has so much pyar for Ranjan that she just has him in his chit over and over. ਉਹ ਬਸ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਹੈ। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਬੈਠਤ ਉਠਤ ਚਲਤ ਹੋ ਸੰਗਾ।
ਜਦੋਂ ਬਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਠਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਸਾਰਾ ਉਹ ਅੰਗ ਸੰਗ ਦਿਸਦਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤਾਹੀ ਕੋ ਜਾਣੈ ਕੇ ਅੰਗਾ।
ਇੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਅੰਗ ਹੀ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਦਾ। ਅੰਗ means body part. It seems that Ranja is now one of our body parts. ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਕਾਹੂ ਕੋ ਜੋ ਹੀਰ ਨਿਹਾਰੈ।
If anyone were to see Heer in this madness, ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਰਾਜਨ ਹੀ ਰਿਧ ਬੀਚ ਵਿਚਾਰੈ।
they would just see that Ranjan is sitting in his heart. When we see a Gurmukh, right, we look at a Gurmukh, we will see that Vaheguruji sits within his heart. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ Gurmukh. Why? Because he's gone so crazy for Parmatama, so crazy for Guru Sahib, that that's all that's left of him. He's become one with him, and you will see that in this story. Hanji.
ਐਸੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਕੀ ਲਾਗੀ।
हाँ, ऐसी प्रीत प्रिया. Priya means husband. As they're not husband and wife yet, right? She just seen, this is obviously a story, this is obviously an analogy to teach us, so Priya is our husband, is Vaheguruji, ऐसी प्रीत प्रिया की लागी, इधर ही प्रीत परमेश्वर वसे लागी। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਨੀਂਦ ਭੁੱਖ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਸਭ ਪਾਗੀ।
ਨੀਂਦ ਤੇ ਭੁੱਖ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਭਾਗ ਗਿਆ ਔਰ ਤੋਂ, like it's left her। ਹਾਂਜੀ। ਰਾਜਨ ਹੀ ਕੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਹਿ ਪਈ। ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਜਨ ਦੀ ਰੂਪ ਹੀ ਬਣ ਗਈ। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਜਿਉ ਮਿਲ ਬੂੰਦ ਬਾਰ ਮੋਹ ਗਈ।
Bund means a drop of water, band means ocean, ਸਮੁੰਦਰ, just like the water combines with the ocean। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਜੈਸੇ ਮ੍ਰਿਗ ਮ੍ਰਿਗਿਆ ਕੋ ਲਹੇ।
Just like mrig, a deer, and mrigla, a deer hunter। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਹੋਤ ਬਦਾਏ ਬਿਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਹੇ।
It's just like a deer who comes into the arms of the hunter without him even trying. That's how he has fallen in love with Ranjan. That's how a Guru Sikh should fall in love with Parmatma without Sahasabha, just like that। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਜੈਸੇ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਆਗ ਮੈਂ ਪਰਤਕ ਹੂੰ ਤੇ ਆਏ।
Just like a lakdi means a wood, just like a wood will fall into the आग, into the fire। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਪਲਕ ਦਵੈਕਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਰਹਿ ਬਹੁਰ ਆਗ ਹੈ ਜਾਏ।
Palak dwak, for two palaks, for a few moments you will see that there's a difference between the wood and the fire, but eventually it will become one। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਹਰਜਾ ਅਸ ਐਸੇ ਸੁਨਿਓ ਕਰਤ ਏਕ ਤੇ ਦੋਏ।
Harja as means Kirpan. ऐसे सुनियो करत एक दे दो। You must have heard, Khalsa ji, that Kirpan can take one and make into two। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਬਿਰਹ ਬਿਡਾਰਨ ਜੋ ਬਦੇ ਏਕ ਦੋਏ ਤੇ ਹੋਏ।
But have you heard those people that have been struck by the Kirpan of Birha? Birha means pain of Birag, of separation. They become from 2 to 1. Kirpan, a talwar, can make 1 to 2, the pain of a lover can make two to one. Hanji.
राजन हीर प्रेम में रह एक ही होए
Rajan Heer prem mein रह एक ही होए. In the love of Rajan Heer, वो एक ही बन गई. Hanji.
कहबे को तन एक ही लहबे को तन दोए
लहबे लहबे देख दे. देखते सार you will see two bodies. कहबे को तन एक ही, but actually they're one now. If you see them, you see two people, but they're actually one. Just like Gursikh, when you see Gursikh, you see Parmatama must be someone else, but they're actually one. Hanji.
चौबे ऐसे प्रीत प्रिय की पई
Hanji.
सिगरी बिसर ताहे सुध गई
इदा दी प्रीत परमेश्वर वास्ते पै गई. सारी सिगरी, सिगरी में सृष्टि बिसर गई, भुल गया. Like the whole world has been forgotten. Hanji.
राजा जुगे रूप उजानी
They sud gayi, we lost our mind. Raja Ju ke, Ju means Ji. So where Guru Sahib is from, Patna Shahid, from Patna Sahib, in that in Bihar, when they say, like if you say like Gyan Ji, they will say Gyan Ju. They will say Ju vartya. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj uses this in Gurbani, and then Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji as well. So when they say Har Ju Rakh Leho Pat Meri, so it means same thing as Har Ji. But in that boli of that area, that alaka, they will say Ju. So here it is saying Raja Ju, Raja Ji ke roop urjani. Oh Raja Ji de roop vich hi urj gayi. Hanji.
लोक लाज तज पई दीवानी
Diwani hi hogi. Lok Laj means the honor she has in the world. वो तो भुल ही गई ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ. Hanji.
सब चूचक एह पात विचारी
फिर चूचक, remember Choochak is the her dad. फिर चूचक ने एक गाल सोची, my daughter is going crazy. Hanji.
यह कन्या नह जियत हमारी
मेरी जी कन्या means istri, जवान istri who's going to be married soon. My kanya won't live very long like this. Hanji.
अभी यह खेरा को दीजा
मैं हुन इन्हू खेरा family the Khera was a name of a family who the father Chuchak got he'd married into by force. Now I'm going to take you back to that shabad we talked about earlier. मित्र प्यारे नू हाल मुरीदा दा कहना तुद बिन रोग रजाइयां दा ओडन नाग निवासा दे रहना सूल सराही खंजर प्याला बिंक साइयां दा सहना यारड़े दा बिन सत्थर चंगा भट खेड़ियां दा रहना. गल लगी समझ? खेड़ियां दी रहना. The drishti of that shabad मित्र प्यारे नू is from the analogy of Heer and Ranja. ठीक है? Ranja is Parmatama, Heer is the patni, right? Is the istri, is the jeev roop istri. Yarde, yar, my yar is because they're not remember they're not married, they're friends, right? Yar mera, na? So mitra pyare nu, now the concept of friendship comes in, right? Mitra pyare nu. Why is Parmatma our friend right now? Because the marriage sanjog has not officially happened yet, right? How does marriage happen when ek ho janda, right? Mitra pyare nu hal murida da कहना. Tell my pyara the hal of his murid. Murid means sevak. Murid means chela. So mitra pyare nu hal murida da कहना. Tod bin rog rajaiyan da odin. Rachu this rajai, this tod bin rog rajaiyan da odin. Take the od of the rajai is a rog. It's a dukh for me. Hanji. Tod bin rog rajaiyan da odin. Hal Nag Nivasa Derana. And the Navas of a house is as living with Nag. Nag means snakes. Nag Nivasa Derana. Sool Sarahi. Sarahi, so I got a picture here for you guys of a Sarahi. So this is called a Sarahi. Sool Sarahi. Sarahi was a vessel you can put water or milk into and stuff like that. This Sarahi in particular though is very, very special. It's called a Ganga Ram or Ganga Sagar, sorry. Ganga Sagar. This Sarahi in particular, Guru Sahib had given it to Rai Kalla ji. So the Sakhi of Rai Kalla, yeah. So they given when Guru Sahib to Chamkor di Gadi, Guru Sahib went to a pind and they asked Rai Kalla ji who was the Subadar of Suba means a governance and Subadar means the governor. Like New York is a Suba. Florida is a Suba, so every state, and then the governor of that state will be Subadar. So Rai Kalla was the Subadar of that state that Guru Sahib went to, and Guru Sahib when he met Rai Kalla, Guru Sahib said, "Mere bachyan vaste khabar la kya ho? My bache want to where are they? Na?" So Rai Kalla then sends his farmer. His farmer went to Sirhan, found out the kids. So what happened then? Rai Kalla ji wanted to give milk to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Guru Sahib gives him this Ganga Sagar. I said, here, put milk in this. You know? So the cow apparently couldn't get milk. Or Guru Sahib's Bashir, where the cow was able to get milk, the milk came in. Now Rai Kalla ji's family, the 9th generation Rai Kalla ji's family, still has that Ganga Sagar today. That Guru Sahib had touched, Guru Sahib drank from upon. So that person is right there. You can see him here. He has videos on YouTube you can watch where he talks about the Ganga Sagar and how his family has been preserving it for many generations.
ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਆਈ ਸੀ
ਉਹ ਆਈ ਸੀ? Okay, cool.
ਸਾਰਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਸੀ
ਸਤ ਵਚਨ
ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ
ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ
ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਗੰਗਾ ਸਾਗਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ
ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਵਾਹ ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਯਾ ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖੀ ਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਾਸ ਨਾਨਕਸਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਦੇ ਵੈਂਟ ਥਰੂ देयर ਹੋਲ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ lineage. It was really beautiful. This Ganga Sagar has over 200 holes in it. There's moriyan again over 200 moles. But if you put sand into it, it'll come out. But if you put milk or water, it doesn't come out, it stays. So it's one of the miracle kind of things. So Sool Sarahi, Khanjar Pyala. Khanjar means a khanjar like you see there. Those kind of churiyan, they're called khanjar. Khanjar Pyala. Pyala means a cup, a mug. So Sool means a kanda, a thorn. So Sool Sarahi, Khanjar Pyala. Bing Kasaiyan da Sahana. Bing is a shastra that Kasai farmers would have to butcher or gut their animals. It's like a long shuri, you can say, but used specifically to gut the animal. Bing Kasaiyan da Sahana. Yarde da menu Sathar Changa. Sathar means like a wooden mat, a hay mat. Yarde da my Vaiguruji da jira Sathar o Changa. Part Kheriyan da Rana. But part means a furnace. Part Kheriyan Rana. But if I were to live with the Khere family, it's like living in the furnace. So we'll just quickly, it's almost about to finish. I know we're running over time. We'll just do Samapti soon. Where are we? Khere bol turat teh deo. Right away they got Heer married to the Khera family and they sent her away. Hanji.
ਰਾਜਾ ਅਤਿਤ ਹੋਏ ਸੰਗ ਗਇਓ
ਤੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ ਰਾਂਝਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਅਤਿਤ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਅਤਿਤ means a yogi. He disguised himself as yogi ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ because ਜਦੋਂ ਬਰਾਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸੀ when weddings happen there's yogis and stuff they'll come along as well to give their blessings to get some offerings and so, things like that so ਉਹ yogi ਬਣ ਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਭਾਗਤ ਪੀਕ ਕਾਤ ਜਬ ਪਾਇਓ
ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ he came to the house to ask for money as a yogi dressed disguised ਹਾਂਜੀ Fake, they were Devte, right? It was in the Devta in the disguise of Ranja. So he took Heer and they went back to Surlok. They went back to the Akash Mandali. Hanji.
Raja Heer milt jab pe.
Jado Heer te Ranja वापस मिल गए after that Vishora. Hanji.
चित के सकल शोक मिट गए.
चित विच जिहड़े सारे शोक जिहड़े the sadness that they have वो सारे मिट गए. Hanji.
या की अवध बीत जब गई
या की अवध बीत जरो whenever we see the yaya there and we see the letter before the yaya has siyari we'll turn that into a bihari because in Gurmukhi we have siyari and bihari and Sanskrit you have siyari bihari with the short e as well so the nishana for a short e is the yaya comes after and the letter before the yaya has a siyari but you pronounce it like a bihari or a short e hiya ki avad beet jab gayi Here means ਇੱਥੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬਾਟ ਦਹੂ ਸੁਰਪੁਰ ਕੀ ਲਈ
ਫਿਰ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਰਪੁਰੀ ਚੱਲ ਗਏ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਰਾਜਾ ਪਿਓ ਸੁਰੇਸ਼ ਤਹ ਪਈ ਮੈਨ ਕਾ ਹੀਰ
ਤੇ ਹੀਰ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨਕਾ ਅਪਸ਼ਰਾ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਫਿਰ ਸੁਰੇਸ਼ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੰਦਰ ਦੇਵਤਾ ਫਿਰ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਯਾਜਕ ਮੈਂ ਗਾਵਤ ਸਦਾ ਸਭ ਕਬ ਕੁਲ ਜਸ ਤੀਰ
in this world they left behind a story for many kavis to sing ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇਹ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਚਿਤ੍ਰੋਪਖਿਆਨੇ ਤ੍ਰਿਆ ਚਰਿਤਰੇ ਬੰਤਰੀ ਫੂਕ ਸੰਵਾਦੇ 98ਵਾਂ ਚਰਿਤ ਸਮਾਪਤ ਸੁਭ ਮਸਤ ਸੁਭ
ਇੱਥੇ 98ਵਾਂ ਚਰਿਤ ਸਮਾਪਤ ਹੋਇਆ 98 the 1988 chapter has been samapt here so must so what that means is so it's we taught this in their Santa classes So when smapata sub, yeah, so must comes up, you play with the words. So they played with the words here, so we don't have to do it. The word is smapata, must, so must, right? What they did was they put the mamma on this side, smapatam, svat means khatam ho gaya, and you're left with a sat. One, you take a letter from one side and you bring it to the other side, it leaves behind a ada behind. Because every single letter in the Gurmukhi alphabet has a hidden ada behind it. Yeah. So when we say kakka mukta ka, we're saying a behind it as well. Chacha mukta cha, there's a behind it as well. Huh? So the ada gets left behind, that becomes ast. So ast and then the onkar, we extend that like we were learning in our classes, right? Becomes astu. Astu means hoya. Samapatam hoya. And then subam, sub means pala. And then again astu. Pala hoy. So the person who reads this, ora pala hoy. That's what Guru Sahib is saying here. Ithe samapti hoy hai. जिन्हें इस पानी की पाठ की वो पल सो इतने आप समाप्ति करेंगे जी समाप्ति विच आप कीर्तन का शब्द सुनेंगे एंड देन सो Benji, you can go ahead.
दोहरा राजा प्यो सरेस तह पेस मैन का हीर या जग मैं गावत सदा सब कब कुल जस तीर
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।